Hi guys, what's going on? So I hope you're doing well. Are you learning English? Yes, you are. Okay, let's get to the lesson. No. Before we go to the lesson, there's this question I would ask from you. So I want you to give me a simple answer to the question which I'm about to ask you right now. So the question is, what scares you most? If your answer is going to be English or speak in English, please take it out of your mind because with us, you're gonna learn English effortlessly. Right? We have specifically designed this program. Just for you guys. Just for you guys. So don't worry. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy the lesson. Okay, so even though I said I was going to give you guys a lesson, today we don't have a lesson. Then what do we have today? We have a story. Yes, the moment you have been waiting for. We have a beautiful story. So today I'm not going to talk to you. Today I'm going to talk to your subconscious mind. Right? So you listen to this and answer these questions. So how this works is pretty simple. So I have this beautiful story that I got from the internet. So I'm going to read it for you, and while I'm reading it, I'm going to do something. I'm going to ask some questions according to the story. If you know the answer, please don't worry. Just go ahead and give it to yourself. So, when you answer the questions, I can't hear you, but you can hear yourself, right? Just if you know the answer, don't worry about it. Just talk to yourself. Tell it to yourself. All right? Here begins the story. All right, there you go. So, like I said before, I am going to read it for you. All you have to do is listen to it carefully and answer my questions. All right, let's do this. A long time ago, in a big, beautiful forest, there lived many animals. Who lived in a big, beautiful forest? Many animals. Yes, you're doing it right. Well done. The animals in the forest were very happy. Who were very happy? The animals. Yeah. Where did the animals live? In the forest. Okay. Yeah. And they lived a wonderful life. What did they live? A wonderful life. Alright. One reason that the animals were happy was because in the forest there also lived a little princess. Who else lived in the forest with the animals? A little princess. Yeah. The little princess had long curly blonde hair. What kind of hair did she have? Long curly blonde hair. Do you know what her name was? Her name was Marina. Yes, Marina. A beautiful name for a beautiful little princess. What was she again? A princess. Thank you. Every morning she would go to the park near the river to play with her friends. What did she do every morning? Yes, she went to the park near the river. And what did she do there? With whom did she play? With her friends. Alright. So Mrs. Rabbit, Mr. Skunk, and the very young deer were her best friends. Who were her best friends? Mrs. Rabbit, Mr. Skunk, and a very young deer. One day they were playing together. What were they doing one day? Playing. They were having so much fun so that they lost track of the time. The sun went down and it became dark. What went down? The sun went down. And what happened after that? The whole environment became dark. Whoa, creepy. The little animals were afraid to go home alone. Who were afraid to go home alone? Little animals. Where did they want to go? They wanted to go home. Of course, they wanted to go home. Princess Marina had an idea. Who had an idea? Marina. She said, Why don't you all come to my grandpa's home with me? Grandpa doesn't mind it when I bring my friends to his place. That's what she said. That's what she said. When Marina and her friends arrived at her grandpa's house, he invited them in. Who invited them in? The grandpa. Whose grandpa? Marina's grandpa. Yay, you're doing so great. And who were the friends of Marina's? Mrs. Rabbit, Mrs. Skunk, and a deer. Thank you guys. Thank you. So, he invited them in. He gave them all the treats that they could eat. What did he give them? Treats. Did they eat the treats? Of course they did. They were starving. After they ate, they all played games. What did they do after they ate? They played games. What did they play? Games. We don't know the games exactly, but they played some games. After some time, Grandpa in a deep loud voice said, deep loud voice, it's time for bed now. Who said that? Grandpa. Grandpa did. Grandpa gathered all the friends around and told them a bedtime story. Who told a bedtime story? Grandpa. Yeah. In his deep voice, he told them a story. Maybe a scary one. Before long, everyone was fast asleep. In the morning, it was safe for the animals to go home. Every day, Marina and her friends still play, but now they make sure that they go home before it gets dark. Do they play every day now? Yes, of course, they play every day, but they make sure to go home before it gets dark. That's a good advice, guys. If you are going somewhere in the evening, please make sure to get back home before it gets dark. That is good for you and that is good for your parents. Alright, so that is the end of the story. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you really think, if you still think that you did not understand the whole story, please go to the beginning, the very beginning, and listen to this story several times until you understand it. Alright, so I think that's enough. So don't you ever fear anything. Don't you ever get scared of anything. Alright, so if you are waiting for the perfect time to do something, I have to say there's no such thing as a perfect time. Right now is the perfect time. So take your action. Alright, so it has been a pleasure to teach you guys. I will talk to you soon. Bye bye. Thank you for listening.